Hi, I'm Jason Willoughby with Reach City Ministries, and I am so glad that you're coming back for more on this topic of addiction. So, thank you so much. I'm hoping to talk about some very practical steps that we can take to disrupt and regain some time in order to make better choices, to fight the battle more wisely, so that you guys will succeed in not just getting, but staying clean. Things that I have learned in my years of fighting temptation and dealing with the lust of the flesh, which is what the Bible calls that part of us that wants to indulge in improper desires in the area of sexuality. It's this insatiable lust thing, this thing that wants to look and acquire and have what doesn't belong to us, what God has not given us, or at a level that's idolatrous. So we want to take some very practical steps. And the first one has to do with fighting an image with an image. It took me a while to learn as I walked with Jesus that one of the best ways to fight a wrong image, a foul and evil image, a tempting image, was to have another image that I would fight the first image with. So you counter an image with another image. When I was working after college, I was working for an insurance company, and in the company's infinite wisdom, they hired a very beautiful woman who loved to wear micro mini skirts and these long legs, was in the cubicle right across from me. I mean, every time I turned, there she was. So it was bothering me, and I was struggling. Well, yeah, I don't want this, and this attraction was there. And then I closed my eyes and I imagined what it'd be like to live with this woman. Now she had a very high nasally voice. Yeah, and she was just terrible to listen to. And I just started thinking about being handcuffed to this woman, spending all my days on planet Earth, and it was a nightmare. And what was funny is the sexual fantasy got hit with this reality image, and it just destroyed the attraction. It just eliminated it. So we can often fight an image with an image. Some people have a picture of Jesus they put right there and they stare at it and think of him. There's some Bible for that. You know, set your mind on things above where Christ is. Fix your eyes on Jesus. That one's right in the Bible, so pretty much a gimme. The other thing is for us, for you younger men, and for me as a married man, thinking of a picture of my future or my wife's face when she finds out I've been looking at some other woman, and the devastation is there. Men, that is a powerful picture because every woman you know feels inwardly like she's ugly and not good enough in beauty. And so when a husband or a guy in her life is using porn, she goes right to that place of hurt and feeling ugly and rejected. And so picture that, and that will help destroy some of that fantasy that is building, leading to usage. Another really wise practice is knowing your vulnerable times. In Alcoholics Anonymous, they use the acronym HALT, hungry, angry, lonely, and tired, as times and occasions when people are most likely to relapse back into alcoholism. So that's a good, because those are vulnerable emotional places. You're hungry, and then you grab something wrong. You're angry, upset, and instead of dealing with it or working it through, you grab something wrong. When you're lonely, boy, it's lonely to be a student. A lot of lonely hours studying, grappling with things, maybe being stuck in your room studying. And in that loneliness, it is easy to look for a release. And then tired, you're exhausted, you're burning the midnight oil, you're studying for classes. Again, easy to grab for a mind altering, mood altering something. Two others are boredom. The boredom is the self stuffed with the self. We're just, we're in tedious, and it's the same, and we're looking for something exciting and different. Easy to grab a mind altering, mood altering something. And then finally, the weirdest one of all is often the most vulnerable time we have spiritually is after a success. We've had a great day, we've had a breakthrough, we feel like we're really making progress, and then whammo. And that's why the Bible cautions us, let him who thinks he stands take heed lest he fall. So, hungry, angry, lonely, tired, bored, and weirdly, success are those vulnerable times. Just double your radar, be more aware of your vulnerability at those times. Another one that many counselors use is a disruptive, painful shock when you're having that growing fantasy and hunt for your porn and it's making its move. The old rubber band trick. Now, I see these guys wearing these like super thin, wimpy size rubber bands. So I'm saying, like, use one of the ones they wrap celery in at the grocery store and, basically yeah, you want it to hurt and you want to be able to pull that and go, woo. And there's something about the pain thing that disrupts the pleasure seeking thing and buys you time to put your conscious mind to work and make a different choice. Instead of this thing growing and growing, you're disrupting it. You're like, instead of pleasure, it's ouch. And boy, that did hurt. So, yes, that's a technique, but if it works, use it, but make sure your rubber band does some serious sting level, bullet of pain, or else it won't be disruptive enough. One of the things that people who study and work with people in addiction is they talk about a big word called ambivalence. Ambivalence is I want opposite things at the same time. You want to quit, but you want to keep using. You want to stop, but you want to sneak. Another little image. And so we all have within us this double minded, wanting the opposites at the same time thing that we have to contend with. And so the thing you have to learn is how to manage your ambivalence. So here's the mistake so many people make. They start with their noble side. I want to, I never want to use again. This time it's going to be different. I'm going to be clean and pure. I'm doing it. And that's their noble side, and that's the first statement. And then there's this undercurrent of, but wouldn't it be nice to use? Just this once. Nobody will be hurt. Nobody will know. So a lot of times when the noble side gets first, the dark side, the side of sin making its move, has the final word, and that's what sticks with us coming out of that. Try doing a switch up. You start with this: Lord, I want to watch porn. I want to indulge. I want to sneak a peek. I want to reserve my right to use whenever I want. And then you start realizing and listening to yourself, and you're like, but I don't want to do that. Help me. And weirdly, whatever the second thought is a thought that stays with you. So lead with your worst foot. I call it switching feet. Instead of putting your best foot forward, put your worst foot forward. Lead with the ugly thing. And then the backwash of that is the noble thing, the Holy Spirit thing, the good desire, but I don't want to. Lord, help me. Whatever that second thought is, whatever that thing you're taking away, that's what's going to stay with you. So the mistake is leading with the noble, having the dark thing stay with you and grow. Why not lead and be open with the bad desire, and then having a reaction against that and an undercurrent of, but I don't. Help me, Lord. I'm sure there are dozens of other wise moves and smart techniques we can use to disrupt the build up to usage cycle. These are four that I found to be very effective: a counter image, a lead with your worst foot, a know your most vulnerable times, and the disruptive, ouch, shock. Try those four things, see if they buy you enough time to disrupt things so you can make a different and have energy, momentum to make that different choice and have it stay with you. Okay, next time we're going to look at relapse.